Malala Yousafzai, a name that rises like a storm, a name that refuses to bow, a name that stands as a living declaration of courage. Her story does not begin with comfort. Her story begins in a valley where beauty lived, but fear tried to rule. In the Swat Valley of Pakistan, where mountains touch the sky and traditions weigh on hearts, a little girl was born with a spirit louder than the silence around her. While the world expected obedience, she chose bravery. While society expected her to be quiet, she chose to speak. And while darkness tried to silence education, she chose to fight for it. Malala was not raised to follow. She was raised to lead. Her father, Ziauddin Yousafzai, didn't just give her life, he gave her a vision. He made her believe that a girl with a book is more powerful than a dictator with an army. That knowledge is not just information, it is liberation, transformation, revolution. As Malala grew, so did her voice. At an age when most children dream quietly, she dreamed loudly. She spoke in classrooms, in streets, on radio waves, and in the hearts of millions. She fought not just for herself, but for every girl whose dreams were chained by fear. But courage has a price, and Malala paid it. In 2012, on a cold October day, when she boarded a school bus with nothing but hope in her backpack, an enemy driven by fear aimed a gun at her courage. A single bullet attempted to erase her voice. It tried to silence her dreams. It tried to stop her movement. But what it truly did was awaken the world. Because when Malala fell, humanity rose. When she closed her eyes, millions opened theirs. And when she survived, she didn't just survive. She returned with a roar that shook the world to its core. In the hospital bed, between life and death, Malala made a decision that would shape history. She decided that her story would not end in silence, it would begin in power. She rose from that attack not as a victim, but as a symbol of resistance, a symbol of hope, a symbol of what happens when a young girl refuses to break. She once walked the roads of Swat as a schoolgirl. She walked into the halls of the United Nations as a warrior. At just 16, she stood before world leaders and delivered a message that shattered borders and reshaped minds. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. The world listened not because of the words alone, but because of the fire behind them. Malala did not speak for attention. She spoke for the forgotten, for girls whose classrooms had turned into battlegrounds, for children whose futures had been stolen, for voices that had been buried before they ever had a chance to rise. And the world crowned her with the Nobel Peace Prize, making her the youngest Nobel laureate in history. But Malala did not chase awards. She chased justice. She chased equality. She chased a world where every child, no matter their gender, race, or geography, can walk into a school without fear. Through the Malala Fund, she reached places where hope barely survived. Refugee camps where children slept among ruins, villages where girls hid books like treasures, communities where education was a luxury of the brave. She didn't just visit, she listened. She didn't just speak, she amplified. She didn't just advocate, she fought. Her life is proof that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the triumph over it. It is the decision to keep going when the world tries to stop you. Malala faced bullets, yet she chose forgiveness. She faced oppression, yet she chose hope. She faced darkness, yet she chose to become a light so bright that the world had no choice but to see. Her message continues to echo across continents, reminding us that you don't need a throne to be a leader, you need a purpose. You don't need to be older, stronger, or more powerful than others. You need to be braver than your doubts. Malala was once just a girl with a dream, a notebook, and a voice. Today, she is a force that has inspired millions to rise, to speak, to believe. So what does Malala's journey teach you? It teaches you that your voice matters, even if it shakes. It teaches you that dreams matter, even if the world laughs at them. It teaches you that change begins when you stop waiting for heroes and realize you are one. You may not face what she faced, but you face battles of your own doubt, fear, judgment, failure. And just like Malala, you have two choices: surrender or rise. Choose to rise. Choose to speak. Choose to stand for what is right, even when no one is watching. The world is waiting for the next voice that will break the silence, the next heart that will challenge injustice, the next dreamer who will refuse to give up. Maybe it's you. Maybe this is your moment. Maybe your story begins today. So rise. Rise with purpose. Rise with conviction. Rise with courage that refuses to bend. Because the world doesn't need more noise, it needs voices that mean something. Voices that fight. Voices that dream. Voices that change the world. Malala's voice shook the darkness. Now, it's your turn to shake the future. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and spread this message to the world. Let every voice rise.